So you may have just picked up your M2 Pro or M2 Max MacBook Pro, and I kind of want to break down some of my favorite tricks and tips and whatnot. Now I've done the same video for the MacBook Air, Mac Mini, and I think a lot of other Macs as well, and I think the MacBook Pro is the one that I'm actually missing. So I will tell you, luckily for you, getting one of these types of Macs is probably one of the smartest things you can do. I'm still going to be using my M1 Pro MacBook Pro for probably 4 years from now. I'd say that maybe it's going to be like another year or two. But these M2 Pro ones are going to last you for a very long amount of time. So definitely keep that in mind for sure. Now, the very first trick that I want to show you, or whatever the case is basically within the settings panel, it's really, really important that you keep in mind a few different things. So let's go and make our way over to our settings panel by clicking up here. You want to click on System Settings, and right under your display option, so if you scroll down under display, a really important thing I would recommend doing is making sure that under refresh rate right here, I hope this isn't like being weird, under refresh rate right here, I would highly recommend making sure that you actually have ProMotion enabled. So within these MacBook Pros, we actually do have ProMotion, which is a very cool feature. And this is basically our 120 Hz display. This is basically only suited right now for MacBooks. Now we do have it for iPads and iPhones as well, but for the MacBook Pro models in particular, they are the only Macs that support this. So this is a very cool feature to have, and this is by far the most important thing I'd recommend you to do. If you have one of these latest MacBook Pros, by just enabling ProMotion, you will be able to feel the difference of having one of these MacBooks. So this is a really cool thing I'd recommend doing. Now another big thing is under battery, which is right here, we do have a few different things. So right up here where it says low power mode, I would probably have this to never. Now the reason I put this to never is because these Macs are fairly, they have really good battery life. You very rarely need to go and kind of worry about battery if you have one of these latest like M1 or M2 MacBooks. But the thing to keep in mind is that in my personal opinion from using my M1 Pro MacBook, when I used to have this on, my battery life really didn't change too much to when I had it off, and I could notice the performance really wasn't that great. I don't know if it was placebo or whatever, but I would just recommend keeping this to never. Now, if you're honestly like, if you're going really far away from your Mac and you're going to be away from a charger for a long time, then maybe you can keep this on, but you'll probably be better off if you just lower the brightness a little bit and then kind of go from there, if I'm being completely honest. So that's probably another thing to keep in mind. Now, another thing I would recommend doing, and this is probably the first thing I should have recommended you all to do, is as soon as you buy one of these MacBooks, and probably every week or two after you actually buy one of these MacBooks, make your way over to your general settings right inside of your Mac. So click on General, click on Software Update, and I would highly recommend you, as often as you can, just go ahead and update your MacBook. This is by far one of the most important things you can do, and in my opinion, if you're planning on getting a Mac, this is the smartest thing you can do, because by the time you already have your MacBook, there's probably already going to be a software update available. So what I would recommend doing here, just going through, updating your MacBook as often as you can. And again, this is a very important thing I'd recommend doing, because if you don't do this, then your Mac could end up having security issues, the battery life might not be as great, the power may not be as good. So just keep that in mind, and I would just recommend updating your Mac as soon as you pretty much get it. Now, let's get into some other interesting stuff. A very cool thing that you can actually do on your Mac is by actually going through and hiding the notch. So let's say you really hate the notch of your MacBook Pro. Well, if you go ahead and make your way over to this specific website, which is topnotch.app. So there's a few different softwares that allow you to do this, so you don't have to just do this one. You can look up some other ones too. You can just type in hide notch. But this website, which I have linked up here, topnotch.app, so literally the name of the website, what you want to do is you can go ahead and download this specific piece of software. So what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and bring you over to a little DMG file. So if we make our way over to our downloads folder right here, you basically see that DMG file right there. It seems like way too bright over here. That's the DMG file. All you want to do is you want to double click on it, and what it's going to do is it's basically going to install the specific application on your specific Mac. So when that happens, all you have to do here, and this is the funniest thing, is if you look in the top status bar right here, you will see this little icon. So then all you have to do is go and click on this drop down. You'll see this little thing. I think they want you to donate or something. But if you go ahead and click on this little tab right there, you'll see that the status bar will now turn into the actual status bar. So now the notch is basically hidden, so you can't see that notch anymore. But a really cool thing is if you look at the top left, you'll see that the icons are still there, embedded kind of what it looks like inside of the display. So you can still click up there like it's still there. The only thing, at least from what I'm understanding, the only thing this application is really doing is going through and it's pretty much just adding a black bar on the wallpaper. And that's pretty much all it does. So you can pretty much do this yourself if you have a black bar on your wallpaper. If you just set the top portion exactly to what this one is, it's just going to make it look like it's a status bar up there. Now if you want to turn it off, you can just click this thing off and you will see that it basically will revert your wallpaper, whatever, and that is it. So now the status bar, it's not really, doesn't really look that ugly, but you know, it definitely looks better than I would say having this notch always there, but you get used to it after a little bit of time. Now coming back into our settings panel, another thing I want to go and demonstrate is enabling dark mode. So this is a really cool thing that you have the capability of doing. So if you make your way back into your Mac OS settings here, if you click under appearance, which is right here, you should be able to see these little options. So there is a lot of cool stuff here for sure. So at the top, you can change your appearance from light mode to dark mode to auto mode. So this is a really cool thing. Typically, I just keep it on light mode because it is kind of nice. It looks better on camera. But I've also used dark mode quite a bit. I like dark mode in certain applications, not at all of them. You can also change your accent colors. So let's say you want to go and change your accent color from whatever it was to purple. You'll notice that these little things will now turn purple. Or if you want it orange, or if you want it whatever other color, you can go and change it. And it changes all throughout, Mac OS, which is very nice. The blue one is stock. That's usually what I keep it. You can highlight color, like usually I will keep this blue as well. Your sidebar icon size. So if you want to change this from medium to large, it'll go and change these specific, sidebar icons to medium or large from there too. That's another cool thing. Now on top of that, another cool thing that we have inside of Mac OS is actually with, our focus modes. So what these focus modes allow us to do is by actually going through and they basically allow us to kind of enable do not disturb modes for certain activities. So in this case, what I usually do, if we go in our top right corner, we click on our control center, and then if we click on focus mode right here, you'll basically be able to enable focus mode. And like I said, it's almost like having a do not disturb mode but customized. So you can go and turn on do not disturb mode here, but you can also click on focus settings and you can just go ahead and you can go and add a focus and you can set a focus for different things. So let's say when you're gaming, you don't want people to mess with you. But if you have a wireless controller connected, it'll automatically turn on focus mode if you already have that wirelessly connected. So that is a really cool thing, and I think personally that's a really awesome thing that macOS allows us to do, and you can do that on your MacBook Pro. Now another thing I want to go and kind of show you, more of like a trick than anything else, is actually with your battery percentage. So right now we can't really see our battery percentage in our status bar right now. So if you click on battery settings, you'll see this stuff right here. But you'll see that we basically didn't see our, but if you want, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and make your way over to your specific, status bar, whatever little search button is here, and you want to type in percent. You can also type in battery percent right here, and then you'll get into this panel. So now what you want to do is right in here, you can go and see that you can see your battery percent in, show in, menu bar. You can also show in control center, which is usually what I click on, but you can also see show percentage. So if you click on show percentage, you will not only see your battery icon here, but you will also see the percentage in which your battery life is left in. So this is a big thing I do all of the time. On my personal Mac, I do this because it's very important for me to see how much my battery health is, my battery life. So you can basically see it from here too, which is really cool. Now another final thing I want to go and show you is if you ever need to actually factory reset your Mac PC, basically for the most part, it's very common, a lot of people need to do it. It's pretty much the same thing as an iPhone. So back up all your data, back up everything you have. I would recommend doing that first. And then when you're ready, just go and make your way over to your general settings here. You want to click on transfer or reset. And then you can go and click on erase all content as settings. And as long as you type your password and your username, that's pretty much all you're going to have to do. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that will mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.